In this tutorial, I will present how to create a knitted text effect by taking advantage of Appearance panel and using two raster effects along with some basic blending techniques in Adobe Illustrator. Here, I have used Adobe Illustrator CC. You can use it, or another, like Adobe Illustrator CS6. First, we would like to create a new document and set up a grid on it. Go to File, New, or hit Ctrl+N to create a new document. In the New Document panel, select Pixels from the Units drop-down menu, enter 600 in the Width box and 673 in the Height box. Select Color Mode, RGB Color. Open the More Setting options. Here, Raster Effects Screen, 72. Set Name, Knitted Text Effect, and click Create Document. After done this, click OK. In the New Document panel, go to View, Show Grid, to enable the grid. You will need a grid every 1 px, so simply, go to Edit, Preferences, Guides and Grid. Enter 1 in the grid line every box, and 1 in the subdivisions box. You should also open the Info panel window. Info, for a live preview, with the size and position of your shapes. Go to Edit, Preference, and make sure that Unit of Measurement, 2 pixels, in the General option. Next, we would like to create a 4 art brushes. Pick the Ellipse tool, and focus on your toolbar. Remove the color from the stroke, then select the fill, and set its color at R equals 141, G equals 198, B equals 63. Move to your artboard, and simply create a 2 pixels width to 9 pixels height ellipse. Make sure that this green shape stays selected. Open the Brushes panel, and simply click the New Brush button. Check the Art Brush box, and click OK. To open up the Art Brush Options window, enter the brush and name it green, then click the OK button. In the end, your green art brush should show up in the Brushes panel. Make sure that your squeeze circle is still selected, and using the Color tool, replace the green used for the fill with R equals 255, G equals 222, B equals 23. Make sure that this yellow shape stays selected. Open the Brushes panel, and simply click the New Brush button. Check the Art Brush box, and click OK to open up the Art Brush Options window. Enter the brush and name it yellow, then click the OK button. In the end, your yellow art brush should show up in the Brushes panel. Make sure that your squeeze circle is still selected, and from the Color panel, replace the yellow used for the fill with R equals 246, G equals 72, B equals 48. Now, go to Window, Appearance, and using the Add New Fill button, add a second fill for this orange shape. Select this new fill, set its color at white at RGB color value, R equals 255, G equals 255, B equals 255. Go to Effect, Path, Offset Path. Enter a 0.5 px offset, click OK, and return to the Appearance panel. Make sure that the white fill stays selected. Open the Transparency panel, lower the opacity to 50%, and change the blending mode to Soft Light. Make sure that this orange shape stays selected. Open the Brushes panel, and simply click the New Brush button. Check the Art Brush box, and click OK to open up the Art Brush Options window. Enter the brush and name it orange, then click the OK button. In the end, your orange art brush should show up in the Brushes panel. Make sure that your squeeze circle is still selected. Focus on the Appearance panel. Select the bottom fill, and replace the existing color with R equals 246, G equals 192, B equals 168. Keep focusing on the Appearance panel. Select the white fill, go to the Transparency panel, and increase the opacity to 100%. Make sure that this badge shape stays selected. Open the Brushes panel, and simply click the New Brush button. Check the Art Brush box, and click OK to open up the Art Brush Options window. Enter the brush and name it Beige, then click the OK button. In the end, your bag art brush should show up in the Brushes panel. Once you can see all 4 art brushes inside your Brushes panel. Next, we would like to create the main stitches. Pick the Pen tool, create an 8px vertical path, and focus on the Appearance panel. Make sure that there is no color set for the fill, then select the stroke. Add the orange art brush from your Brushes panel. Keep focusing on this little path, switch to the Direct Selection tool, select the bottom anchor point, and simply drag it 3px to the right. In the end, things should look like the angle view of the object. Reselect the path made in this step, and go to Object, Transform, Reflect. Check the horizontal box, and click the Copy button to create a horizontally flipped copy. Select this newly created path, and simply drag it 2px up, and 4px to the right. Select both shapes made in this step, and group them, Ctrl-G. Move to the Layers panel, double-click on this new group, and simply name it Orange. Reselect your orange group, and make a copy, and paste. Move to the Layers panel, double-click on this new group, and rename it Beige. Select the 2 paths inside this second group, and replace the orange art brush used for the stroke with the beige art brush. Make sure that your beige group is selected, and drag it a few pixels to the right. Reselect both orange and beige group, and make a copy, and paste. Move the both object below. Select the first pair object, and double-click on this group, and rename it Yellow. Select the 2 paths inside this third group, and replace the orange art brush used for the stroke with the yellow art brush. Select another pair object, and double-click on this group, and rename it Green. Select the 2 paths inside this fourth group, and replace the beige art brush used for the stroke with the green art brush. Reselect your green group, and go to Effect, Distort and Transform. Enter 1 in the Copies box. Drag the Move Horizontal slider at 8px, and click OK. Go again to Effect, Distort and Transform. Again, enter 1 in the Copies box. Drag the Move Vertical slider at 7px and click OK. Next, we would like to create the background stitches. Set the fill color at R equals 206, G equals 32, B equals 8. Grab the rectangle tool, and simply click on your artboard to open the rectangle window. Set 602 in the width box and 675 in the height box, then click the OK button. Next, you need to center this red rectangle, so open the window, Align. Set the aligning to Artboard. Then simply click the horizontal Align Center and vertical Align Center buttons. In the end, your rectangle should cover the entire artboard. Move to the Layers panel, double-click on this red rectangle and name it BG. Select your orange group and place it like as this. Make sure that this group stays selected and go to Effect, Distort and Transform. Enter 74 in the Copies box. Drag the Move Horizontal slider at 8px and click OK. Go again to Effect, Distort and Transform. This time enter 97 in the Copies box. Drag the Move Vertical slider at 7px and click OK. And the end thing should look like as this. Select your beige group and make a copy and paste. Place this group copy as like this. And go to Effect, Distort and Transform. Enter 74 in the Copies box. Drag the Move Horizontal slider at 8px and click OK. Go again to Effect, Distort and Transform. This time enter 1 in the Copies box. Drag the Move Vertical slider at 7px and click OK. And the end things should look like as this. Reselect the beige group with the 2 transform effects and copy and paste. Select this copy and simply drag it 35px down as like this. Select the original beige group, place it as like this. Go to Effect, Distort and Transform. Enter 36 in the Copies box. Drag the Move Horizontal slider at 16px and click OK. And the end things should look like as this. Reselect all 3 beige groups and copy and paste. Drag these copies down and place them as look like this. Next, we would like to create the knitted text. Multiply the green and the yellow groups, then use these copies to make your letters. You should be able to build most of these letters using 10 knits vertically and 6 knits horizontally. We would like to create first letter K. Basically, we would like to create word knitting. So, by the previous instruction, we would like to create rest of the letter. After done, to make your complete word groups to create your entire text. Now place this group on the background pattern. You can remove the guide from Guides, hide guides. Reposition the text pattern with background pattern perfectly. If you need, ungroup the letters and place the letter pattern perfectly over the background pattern. If you think that letter pattern perfectly placed over the background pattern, then groups again, the entire text by Ctrl+G. From the Align panel, align it horizontally and vertically to place its center. Select all the paths inside your green and yellow groups. Focus on the Appearance panel and replace the existing art brushes used for the stroke with a beige art brush. In the end, things should look like as this. Next, we would like to add the fabric texture. Reselect your BG rectangle, make a copy, and paste. Bring it to front, by Arrange, bring to front, or Shift-Control-3 break it. Move to the Layers panel, double-click on this new shape, and name it Texture. Make sure that your texture shape stays selected, and focus on the Appearance panel. In the Appearance panel, select the fill, replace the existing color with black. In the Transparency panel, change the blending mode to Multiply, and lower its opacity to 8%. Now, go to Effect, Artistic, Film Grain. In the Film Gain panel, select Gain 20, and click OK. Make sure that your texture shape stays selected. Focus on the Appearance panel, and add a second fill using that same Add New Fill button. Select this new fill, make sure that the color is set at black. In the Transparency panel, change its blending mode to Multiply. Now, go to Effect, Distort, Diffuse Glow. In the Diffuse Glow panel, Graininess 10, Glow Amount 0, Clear Amount 0, and click OK. Make sure that your texture shape stays selected. Focus on the Appearance panel, and add a third fill, using that same Add New Fill button. Select this new fill, open the Gradient panel, and simply click on the gradient thumbnail to add the default black to white linear gradient. Keep focusing on the Gradient panel, set the angle at 90 degrees, then first, select the left one, and set the color at black, R equals 0, G equals 0, B equals 0, then, select the right one, and set the color at R equals 206, G equals 32, B equals 8. Make sure that the right slider is still selected. Focus on the opacity box, and set it at 0%. Return to the Appearance panel, make sure that the third fill is still selected, then move to the Transparency panel. Lower the opacity to 15%, and change the blending mode to Color Burn. Make sure that your texture shape stays selected. Focus on the Appearance panel, select the top fill, and duplicate it, using the Duplicate Selected Item button. Select this new fill, focus on the Gradient panel, set the type at Radial, and click the Reverse Gradient button. Move to your artboard, grab the Gradient tool, and stretch that radial gradient. Focus on the Layers panel, reselect your orange group, and go to Effect, Stylize, Drop Shadow. In the Drop Shadow window, enter the Properties mode, Normal, Opacity, 10%, X Offset, 0 pixel, Y Offset, 1 pixel, Blur, 0 pixel, Color, Black, and click OK. Go again to Effect, Stylize, Drop Shadow. In the Drop Shadow window, enter the Properties mode, Normal, Opacity, 10%, X Offset, 0 pixel, Y Offset, 1 pixel, Blur, 1 pixel, Color, Black, and click OK. Congratulations! You're done to create the knitting text effect. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Now you can save it as an Adobe Illustrator format, or you can export it as an image format.